The third day of our workshop on R programming for beginners. Day 3 is about data visualization using R. The learning objectives for this particular session are plotting histogram and bar charts, pie chart using COVID-19 data. I have taken example of COVID-19 data to plot a pie chart, and scatter plot. It is also another plot where you can give the correlation between two parameters. And last one, data visualization using the special package called as ggplot2, and we want to create animated plots, so we can create animated plots and store them as a GIF file, so using ggAnimate. So we data visualization using ggplot2 and ggAnimate is the last topics. Okay, now let us see. So I already provided the data sets COVID-19 India.csv and movie data set in your group, WhatsApp group. Please download those two data sets and try to work along with me. So first, we are reading that COVID-19 India.csv into our R environment by using the command read.csv. So I am zooming in so that you can see. So after that, if you want to see the imported data set, we can see that view df, that is command we are using. Now this is your data set. Now the data set consists of 3,711 objects and 9 variables. Right? It's a very big data set. It's having rows above 3,000 and it is having 9 columns. So look at the columns. We are having serial number, date, time, state or union territory, confirmed Indian national, confirmed foreign national, queued deaths and confirmed deaths. Okay, so this is your data set. It's a very big data set. But if I want to know what are the different columns or what are the headers we are using, we can use a header function. So if I write a head df comma 1, it will display in our console what are the different header names we are using for this particular data set. So serial number, date, time, state dot union territory, confirmed Indian national, confirmed foreign national, queued, deaths, confirmed. Okay, so it is very important because when you want to process a data set or when you want to plot a graph, I first know that what kind of data is present, whether it is numerical data is present or string data, character data is present, like that. So we have to first observe the head of your data set. Now, if I want to create a sub data set that can be created using subset, or we can create with a simple technique. Say, let me zoom in. So this is here. Sub data frame can be created as df. Df is the original data frame which I have taken. So df 1 to 100. That means I am considering first 100 rows, concatenate, comma, concatenate. We are choosing the header file state.union territory, comma, confirmed. So 100 rows, and we are taking only 2 columns. One is state name and the other one is confirmed cases. Like that we can create sub data set from the main data set. Okay, suppose if I want to know the dimensions of your data set, I don't want to look at your workspace, but I want to know what is the dimension of your data set. Then you can use the command dimension, dim in brackets, your data set name. Let me zoom in. So this is your dimensions. If I want to know the dimensions of your data set. So the dimensions of your data set is 100 rows, 2 columns for this example. Right. Now, if I want to plot a histogram for this particular data set which we have created from the main data set, that is a subdf, how can you create it? Is a very simple command, hist in brackets your data set name and dollar symbol confirmed. So we want to plot the number of confirmed cases as a histogram, right? So this is your command. I'm zooming in. See, hist your data set name, dollar symbol, uh, the variable which we want to plot, histogram confirmed. So once you run this program, it will display histogram in the plots window. So this is your histogram. So look at this histogram carefully. We are having x-axis named as subdf dollar symbol confirmed, which you have written in the hist command, and the frequency is how many number of cases are reported, and we are having around 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 or 8 bins here, and the name of the graph is defaultly taken like this. Okay, so if I want to see this graph separately, then click on the zoom icon here, it will display your graph. Okay, so this is how we can plot histogram. Now, in the previous example, the color for this histogram is gray color, which is a default color, it is displayed. Suppose if I want to give color to your histogram, okay, so we want to decorate your histogram plot. So if I want to decorate your histogram plot, how can we do that? Is by using labels and color. So hist subdf dollar symbol confirmed comma main is equal to, this main is equal to, if you give it, it will be it is a title for your plot. X label confirmed cases, X limit. What is this X limit is? This X limit is indicates that along the X axis how many number of values I have to take. Let me zoom in. See here. So 0 to 20. So we have taken the X axis variables up 0 to 20. We can change it. Suppose if we want to only 0 to 15, we can also take that. So X limit is for that purpose. And the y limit also you can write, but I have given as a default here. The color for your histogram bins, color is equal to COL. In this particular case, the syntax is COL for giving color to your histogram bins. COL is equal to, in quotations you have to write red. Okay, so this is how we can change the color for your histogram. Is it clear? Okay, now another way of doing it is, if I want to plot, see what I'm doing here is I am converting the data frame into a table. So in this particular example, subdf from the main df, what you have, how you are created subdf is, we have created subdf by taking 100 rows and 2 columns or 2 header names. So from this, I want to calculate summary, how many states are present, different states, and I want to list it out. So I am going to the previous file. See here in the subdf, what are the different state names are there? Haryana, Delhi, Maharashtra, Jammu and Kashmir, and confirmed cases. So these states are repeated in this particular column. Now see, now we want to create a table by considering the header or vertical column name as subdf dollar state dot union territory. Now when you display this, see here. So what happened here? The table command summarized the different values. Suppose in the previous case, your Uttar Pradesh is repeated more than one time, or your Telangana is repeated more than 10 times, it is listed in the column. But when you go for a table, what it will do is summarize the values and gives only 12 states. So for in 100 rows we are having 12 different state names. So the 12 states are listed here, and the confirmed cases are summed together and it is given as frequency. So the default names given by the R for these two columns is variable 1 and frequency. Okay, now we want to plot a pie chart for this. What is a pie chart? Is pie chart is like a circular plot having 360 degrees, and we want to plot different portions, how this pie is considered, how much area it is taking place. That will indicate the number of cases. If more pie sector is present, means more cases are reported, right? So pie chart, if I want to go, simple command pie covid count will give you this count. So 1 to 12 states and their frequency. So your pie chart will consider these frequency values while plotting your pie chart. So this is the in the plots window we can see the pie chart. I am zooming in. So this is your pie chart. Now, when you look at this pie chart, the names are not that much visible because the very small sectors are created. So if I want to see it clearly, we can go for zoom and we can able to see here. See. Press on the zoom icon, your R, it will display the pie chart in a separate window so that we can able to see all the state variables in a clear manner. Okay, now if I want to change the colors or portion or orientation of your pie chart, how can we do that? See, pie, your data set which we want to plot, COVID count, comma, main is equal to, it is the title for your pie chart, comma, border color is this one, border color is red. We have given column color for your different sectors which are present in your pie chart. So we have to name them individually. In this case, if you go for default, so in the default it has taken different colors. If you want to give specific colors to each state, then you have to name them individually. So I have used a color is equal to C create, and we have to give your color names in quotes. Okay, now this is your pie chart. Now the colors are chosen by us, so we are customizing your plot by choosing the different colors. Now if we want to see it in a separate window, press on the zoom icon, so it will display the pie chart in a separate window. Now, suppose if I want to save this chart for future purpose. So how can you save this is, go to your save command which is displayed there. It will open a separate window to save your image. Now you can give your file name. So I have given this file name as spread of COVID-19, and it will be stored in the directory desktop day 3 data visualization. And the width and height of your plot is shown here. And the preview, if you want to know what is how the pie chart looks, you can go for preview. So after seeing the preview, you can go for saving this file. So when I save this file, so it will be saved in your current directory. Now if I want to change the aspect ratio of your graph or pie chart, we can give width and height values, and you can click on the update preview so that you can see the current updated pie chart, and you can go for saving the pie chart. See, So when you save that pie chart, we can see it is in the current directory, it is saved as spread of COVID-19.png. This is the name I have given. So you can save in different formats, JPG or other formats you can use it. So this is how we can save your graph or figures in your R. Now, just I will go a little bit back. See the pie chart carefully, how the pie chart is present. Your Kerala is on left side and the remaining states are on right side. Because Kerala reported more cases, so it is occupying more area in the pie chart. Okay, suppose I want to display it in flipped condition, that means 180 degrees I want to flip it. So see, so if I want to display like this, so Kerala on this side and the remaining states are like this. So if I want to flip that, we can give extra parameter in your pie chart as initial INIT dot angle is equal to 180. Then it will flip the bar chart 180 degrees. Now we are moving to from pie chart to bar charts. Now in this particular case, I have reduced the number of rows which we have taken. Just I am zooming in. See, look at the command. Data frame is COVID-19 data frame data set only. So the sub data set is changed a little bit. Sub df is assigned to first 50 rows of your main data set, and we are considering only two columns, state dot union territory comma confirmed cases. Now we are calculating the frequency of these confirmed cases with respect to state to union territories by using the command table. Now see, so in the first 50 rows, what are the different values we are having? So we are having 6 states. Previously we are having 12 states in 100. So for 50 rows we are having only 6 states here. Their names are displayed here as variable 1, and the frequency of your confirmed cases are like this. Kerala is occupying more, that is 36, and the remaining states are like this. Now we want to plot a bar chart for this particular data. Now bar plot can be plotted by using the command bar plot and your data. So bar plot of COVID count, if you give it, it will display. So I am zooming in. So this is the command to display your bar plot. Bar plot in brackets the data set which we want to plot. I'm zooming out. So this is your bar chart. So when you look at this bar chart, what you observe here is there are some lapses, right? Some state names are not displayed properly, right? Here list, if you carefully see, we have 6 state names, but some because of more length they have not displayed properly. So if I want to display those names properly in your bar chart, what you have to do is write the command LAS is equal to 2. So it will make the names in a vertical position 90 degrees so that we can able to display them. So all the values are displayed properly here. Let me zoom in. You can see here all the names are displayed. So what is the command we have to include in this bar plot is LAS is equal to 2. You can see here, right? So still your bar chart is not clear. See, Andhra Pradesh is sliced out name, so I need to make this bar chart to be little bit upside. Okay, I am giving that as an exercise for you. So try to plot your bar chart with state names which are longer than Telangana, and we need to display it in a proper uh, structure. So you can use INIT dot angle in such a way that all the state names are displayed properly. So remaining things are same. If I want to give the title for your bar chart, we can give that main is equal to spread of COVID-19 in India. We have given that title, and y-axis we have given as confirmed cases. Y label is equal to confirmed cases. So if I want to see this plot in a separate window, you can click on the zoom icon and we can able to see that. Now look at this main data set, that is COVID-19 data set. Once again, carefully observe. Uh, we are showing here three columns. Column names are confirmed Indian national is one column, and another column is confirmed foreign national is another column, and third column which we want to select is that is confirmed. So Rajasthan, if you take it for Rajasthan, confirmed Indian national is equal to 1, foreign national is 14, total number of cases confirmed is 15. You need to look at the data set in such a way that how you want to present this data to the others. That can be done by looking at the data set first. Now we want to plot a scatter plot by using this data. So how can you draw a scatter plot is very simple one. Plot is the command we need to use. Plot x is equal to sub data frame $ confirmed. So from the main data set I have considered 1000 rows, and column names are state or union territory, confirmed Indian nationals, confirmed foreign nationals, and your confirmed cases. Okay, so plot x is equal to your confirmed cases, and y you want to take confirmed Indian nationals. Okay, so y label I have given as Indians, and x label is given as total confirmed cases. So according to the number of values we have chosen, I have taken x limit is 100 and y limit is 90, and the color of for your scatter plot points is red color. So I am zooming in. Look at the command once again and try to type in your browser. Okay, now another simple plot we can draw in your R is, so all these graphs which we have done are using the base setup of your R. So we are not installing any special packages. So by using a base package of your R. So this one we have already worked it out. Very simple command how to create a sequence. So a sequence can be created as x is assigned sequence minus pi to pi with an increment of 0.1. So y is equal to sine of x. So plot x comma y comma type is equal to L. So it will plot your sine wave like this. Suppose if I change type is equal to P, it will plot only points. So type is equal to L will decide what kind of graph you want to see, whether a line plot or a point plot, or whether you want to display a histogram of type of plot. That can be given by using the type is equal to command. Okay, now if I want to display another graph onto this existing graph, how can you do that? So you have to do that. So for this plot I have given the color blue by using color command. So I am zooming in. This is your color plot x comma y type is equal to L, color blue is given for this particular waveform. Now if I want to plot another graph on the existing graph, you need to use the command lines. So the first plot is plot x comma y, type is equal to L, color is blue, and the head main title of for this graph we have given as basic plot in R. Now on this existing sine curve, we want to plot cos waveform. So lines x, cos of x, color red. So it will display your cos waveform onto the existing waveform like this. You can see in the plot window. I am zooming in. So this is your plot window. Okay. Now, because I'm displaying two graphs. Okay, I need to specify legend whether blue graph is sin x or red one is cos x. So for that purpose, you should write a legend. If I want to place it in top right or top left, you have to give top right. It will display on the right side of your graph. C concatenate, because there are more than two graphs. Sorry, there are more than one graph. C sin of x, that is a name given to the first one, and the second one is cos of x. Fill is equal to C of blue and red. C we have to compulsory mention. If you are not given the C, it will show error. So when you want to display legend names more than one, we have to use the command C. So like this, we can able to display two waveforms in a single graph. Now we are moving to important tool in your R is grammar of graphics. That is nothing but your ggplot2. It is a specialized package created in 2005 to plot your graphs in a interactive way so that they are visually good. For that purpose, we are using ggplot2. Let us see how can we use ggplot2. So your ggplot2 having aesthetics. Aesthetics are nothing but beautification of your plot. What kind of color you want to give, whether you want to plot by using the lines or points, symbols. So whether how to position these values. So how to customize your plot. This is called as aesthetics. So aesthetics is the main advantage of using ggplot2. So again, read the plot. So all these things can be executed, and practically I will show it to you in the hands-on session in few minutes. So just to look at the syntax, how we are generating all these plots. So when you want to use ggplot2 package, first it has to be installed in on your base version. So we can use packages, install and type ggplot2, and we can install that particular package. So once you install, we should recall that package so that we can use the commands which are present in your gg2 plot. So library is a command to recall your package. Library ggplot2, just I am zooming in, library ggplot2, and I am calling another package is gganimate. So this gganimate is useful if I want to create a animated plots. Suppose we want to store a gif animated plot, then we can generate by using a gganimate. So once again, the data set we are using here is movie data.csv. So what are the contents of this movie data.csv file? If you see title, these are the different movies which are present. Title type, feature film, documentary, drama, what kind of film we are looking at. Title type, genre, drama, documentary, horror, comedy, all those things are listed here in the column. Genre, runtime, how much time it will the video is present, and your rating, uh, all those things are present in this particular movie data. So your movie's data frame consists of 600 observations and 31 variables. So if I want to know what are the different variables, 31 variables present in our movies data set, just zoom in. I'm zooming in, sorry. So head df comma 1. So these are the different names of variables which are present in our movies data.csv. Now we want to plot the relation between audience score and critic score. So audience score, when you watch a film, you want to give a score for that particular movie, rating for that particular movie that is recorded in your data set. And another variable that they have considered, property they have considered, is critic score, the experts who will review your movie. So we want to correlate these two, whether the critics are correctly estimating the audience pulse or not. If I want to know, so I want to know the correlation between these two variables. So if I want to know the correlation, I can know that correlation and visually plot that correlation by using scatter plot. So that is the purpose of scatter plot. So if I want to draw a scatter plot, the command that we have to use is ggplot. So the ggplot command is ggplot data is equal to data frame, which we are using movies data.csv mapping. AES is nothing but aesthetics, meaning that you are what are the variables we want to display. By using these aesthetics, we can give color to the graphs or a scatter plot. All those things can be done by using the command AES. So in AES, I want x-axis values to be critic score and y-axis to be audience score. Plus you have to write GEOM underscore point. So what is this command says that what kind of scatter plot you want, whether you want to display a bar chart or whether you want to display the values by points. If I give geom underscore point, it will display the values as points. Now see the graph. So this is your plot, critics underscore and audience. So you can see if critic score is around 75 and how the audience scores are present. So here more clutter, more opinions are matched in this area compared to in this area. So like that, a scatter plot can be used. So zoom in. For this particular graph, scatter plot is looks like this. Now we are giving labels for this particular plot. So I see how the interactiveness will change. So in previously a plot, the coloring scheme is not that much good. So the main purpose of ggplot is to visualize the data in an interactive way, so that it will we can able to know more information. So in order to know that, aesthetics will help you to beautify your plots. So if I want to give different colors, so data, say ggplot is same, ggplot is equal to data is equal to df mapping. In mapping we have added extra one color to what values we want to give this color is to generate. Genre means whether documentary, data, drama, what kind of movie we want to watch. For that we are giving. So this is the extra aesthetic we have added to the current plot. So label values we are giving x-axis credit score, y-axis audience score. Now look at this graph. See, automatically it has generated legend. No need to give legend here. So once you are given color to the genre, automatically it will display what movies are given one particular color. So this x-axis legend, y-axis legend you can see, and color. So horror films are given this particular color. You can see how horror films are present, distributed, how they are matched between the critic score and the audience score. You can see more green shades are present in this area. So like this scatter plots help you to know the correlation between two variables. I'm zoom in so I can see here. Similarly, we can also draw bar chart using this ggplot2. So same thing, but a bar chart means not points, we are using bars. So I need to give color to that particular value of credit score. So in this particular case we are using the data to plot your bar graph is the data which we are using is mpaa underscore rating. Okay, instead of credit score we have taken mpaa underscore rating. So see, you can see in the header where your MPA underscore heading is present. This side here, MPAA underscore rating is another column. So that column data we want to display by using bar chart. So for the bar chart, the color scheme is a little bit changed. You need to write fill is equal to generate. So that and you have to change geom underscore bar. So I'm zooming in so that you can see the command. So this is your geom underscore bar. So it will display the bar chart with different colors. So this is your MPAA underscore rating for general audience, whether it is rated or unrated, the film, all those things can be displayed here. So you can see unrated version, we are having this much portion as horror movies are unrated, and documentary films are also unrated more. You can zoom in how this particular graphs looks like. So next, if I want to select filter out some of the columns of your data set, we can use another package called as dplyr package, which I have already discussed on the first day how to install a dplyr package. Now we are using ggplot2 and your dplyr package here. So if I want to filter out only comedy movies from the main data set, this is your main data set. So let me go back. So see here. So from the main data set, I want to filter only the movies, comedy movies. Then what you have to write? Filter df comma genre is equal to comedy. So this filter command is present in dplyr package, not in ggplot2. So we have to install dplyr package in order to use this filter function. So when you filter out, so this is your output, your data. See, the serial index is changed and the title are like this. Title of film, feature film are not. See, genre, all are comedy movies, all are comedy movies are grouped together here. They are listed in the data frame df1. So after filter, we are storing that particular value variables into df1. Okay, suppose you want to filter out by conditional values. Say for example, genre I want the movie with a comedy movie with a runtime greater than 100 minutes if I want. So then you can put the condition and in your filter function, and it will display the data which are movies which are comedy movies and having a runtime of greater than 100 minutes. See, comedy movies and the runtime is greater than 100. Okay. So another function in dplyr is arrange function. Suppose if I want to arrange the values present in your data frame ascending order or descending order, then I can use this particular function arrange df according to genre and rating of the movie. So you can use the command arrange. Okay. So let us go for practical session. If you have any doubts here, let me clarify all those doubts. Let me know. Any doubts? Okay. Now we will move on to the practical session. Right. 1 minute. Now, if you want to display your graphs in a interactive way, we want to go for animation, right? So for animating your videos or plots, so we need another package called as library gg animate. I am zooming in. This one is library gg animate. Now I am considering a data set a data.frame with the first columns as abc, values 3 to 4, and the repetition of a 3 times it is repeated. Rep means repetition. So I want to repeat the character a in our data set 3 times. So this is your data set. Suppose let's run this program. Bar animation, running this program. It displayed the bar chart ABC. Let me zoom in. This is the bar chart it is displayed. Now, what I have done is here not only I am created a plot, but I want to animate that in an interactive way. For that purpose, we need gg animate. So in the gg animate, these are the commands which are present for this gg plot, data, aesthetics already you know. So after that, what we have to give is the new one we have to specify is transition states. So transition underscore states, we have to change frames, and we want the transition length to be equal to 2, and state length is equal to 1. And what kind of a plot we want is sine in out. That means your bar chart will be increasing and decreasing. Okay, so it will take some time to render. So you can see here rendering is displayed. That means it will calculate, takes all the values, and it want to create a interactive bar chart. Once the rendering completes, it will display in the viewer console. So it will see how it is generated. Are you able to see how these plots are changing? Let me change the window. Or see how these values are changing, right? So this is how we can animate your bar plots. See, if I want to save this animated plot, then we can use the command save animation anim underscore save. I'm zooming. No, it is not possible because it is R console. So command is this one, animation underscore save, in brackets the name of file you want to save. So this is saved in your file session. So this is your, where is your file? See here, it is saved like this. When you click on this, It will open the bar plot. Let's try in some other way. So I am going to the folder where it is saved. I'm saving that file in this one. Where? This one. See, you can display this, you can export this GIF file to anyone. So once you have drawn that in your R, save that animated plot, and you can export anywhere. Suppose you want to maintain a website. In that website, you want to display some statistics, say sales statistics, or it may be anything if you want to display. So when you want to display in an interactive way, you can use the GIF. So this GIF file is exported to your website. Now let's go for another program. So which one we want? Suppose want to display COVID-19 data. So this is the program. I will provide all these programs in your WhatsApp group just to go through them. So run this particular program. Let me open another simple program. That will take more time to. This one I want to run. See, this is two graphs plot we have seen. Suppose if you want to animate using scatter plot, this is another example. So it is rendering. So here I have not given any save command. So it only displayed in this viewer window. It will not be saved. So if I give save animation, then only that file will be saved onto your desktop in GIF format. So it is rendering data. If more data is present, it takes more time to render. So like this, we can plot uh, different interactive animations so that anyone can easily understand. See, it's a simple one. Dinosaurus data set. You have taken a random value data set called as Dinosaurus. It is inbuilt. So library Datasaurus is the data set I have imported, which is already present in your R in the inbuilt data set, and I'm using ggplot2 and gganimate to animate this particular data set. See how it is present, right? So we can export this. If you want to save this, you have to use anim underscore save to save this particular one as GIF. And we will look at another program. So this is a simple bar chart which shows how the ICMR testing is taking place in India. So this is your bar chart. Zooming in, see, I have already given this one as a assignment, how to display your names in such a way that whatever the length of the name, it should be displayed properly. See, Andaman and Nicobar Island is a longer name, but we have displayed it in a proper way. So this is how the collection site, government laboratory, private laboratory, what are the different laboratories which are we are using for collecting test samples. This is one such example. If you go onto these graphs, it will show you the state from which state we have taken that particular data. Maharashtra, this one is Maharashtra 19, and the set time. This is from Karnataka, Kerala. So like this, very simple. See, for this particular bar chart, we are using a different package called as Plotly package. See, there are different packages in R. That's what we have mentioned on first day, that use to learn R is very easy, but when you want to master it, because there are vast number of packages are present, we don't know which package is useful for us, right? So suppose if you want to go for a graph bar chart, I can use a base version of R, or I can use ggplot2, or I can go for another package called as Plotly package. Like this, we can able to draw interactive animations or interactive graphs using your R. That's all for today. I hope you will enjoyed your sessions, all the sessions. So this is only introductory course. Don't worry if you are not doing this particular exercise. I will provide all the codes in our group. You can run them and uh, try on your hands. If you change labels, what will happen? If you change one column of data, what will happen? Or if you change the data set, if you make all the variables into consideration, how they will be displayed, all those things, so you can try it out. I will provide all the data. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.